All right, so today's video is going to be a little different. I want to see if you guys would be interested in this type of content, because I was thinking about starting a second channel and have it more focused on like raw paint jobs and entertainment more so than educational. It'll still be educational. It just won't be centered around education, but there will definitely still be good learning opportunities, I'm sure. And I'm actually about to show you guys something on this job we got. It is a Nissan Kicks, I think 2025 or 2026. We got a small repair here. I'm going to show you the easiest way to take care of that sealer edge once we put our sealer on there, because obviously we have a repair and we're blending a new fender. Just to give you guys an idea of what I deal with on a daily basis, look at all that blow through. We got some by the handle right there, and then along this whole freaking top edge, just for no reason, you know? There's absolutely no reason for that. Now, the one thing about these videos is because I want to include the entire job, like start to finish, it's going to have some vertical formatted clips in it, because I still have to record my shorts, obviously, but I don't want to leave them out. If, you know, like I said, these are going to be complete paint jobs start to finish, from the first pull of the trigger to the last. The color is KAD. For those of you who know that color, you know it's a pain in the ball. There are so many variants to this color. I'll show you guys right after we finish throwing our sealer on. All right, so we have our variant that we're using from the camera. I took a picture with it, but let me go here and just show you guys how many variants there are for this color. It's insane. And then I'll pull the book out real quick so you guys can see how different they look. Look at this. Each one is a variant. Look at this. Look at how much I can scroll down. It's insane. Now, we don't have that many chips, but we do have a lot of chips. Let me get them out real quick. MB1 49.9. So we go here. MB1 49.9. Right there. I don't know if I have all of them. Some of them get ripped. It's just 4 of them, but there's definitely more than that. That doesn't even belong there. I don't know where they all are. There's definitely more. I think I took them out of the book because they were all like this. And I didn't do this. I try to take care of shit. I mean, yeah, this is a mess, but, you know, I wouldn't do this to a chip book. It was like that when I started working here almost 2 years ago. All right, so we're going to mix this up. Let's go. We got to go back to our camera. So rapid match. Click the last picture, search without the paint code, and then it scores the matches. So this one, we got KAD here, and we have a 5 and a 6. So I'm gonna go with the 5. The C means it's a little coarser. You'd really want to see okay, but since it's a 5, that's a good score. I'm not worried about it being a little coarser. And if it was too coarse, I could mix a little more and swap out like 479 for a different metallic. So I'm gonna mix this up real quick. I guess 12 ounces should be enough for this job because I'm using base. I have a base color here. We're gonna use that. This way we can mix less, you know, we could use less paint. And we don't let old paint go to waste. All right, we got our base in our gun. Now, you guys are gonna see how I deal with that blow through also. Which honestly, I'm really freaking tired of having to deal with that. You know, you can, I mean, I've spoke to the prep guy about it like more times than I could even count at this point. And it's to the point now where like, I just give up. I mean, I'm not even, it is what it is. What am I going to do? You know, what am I gonna sit there and yell at the guy and scream at? I'm not gonna do that. You know, but at the same time, I'm not gonna let myself look bad because of that. So, you know, I do what I have to do in terms of the blow through. I put it like this. I let it be known that, you know, I mentioned it numerous times and I'm still dealing with it. I have to let it be known because it causes me to take longer in the booth and use more material, which neither of those things make me look good. Are you tired of dealing with a sealer edge? Well, I got news for you. I have the easiest, fastest way to take care of this. Don't tell me, oh, you can use Cam Blender. Don't tell me, oh, you could use a wet bed. Obviously, I know that. The point of this is easier and faster and uses less material. So you'll take your gun. You don't want to have your pressure too high. I got it right around 15 psi. What I'm going to do is essentially dust into my sealer from my blend area. And I'm going to keep it really, really light. This cannot be wet. If you put this on wet, it's not going to work. And if you already went wet, so if you covered this with a wet coat, it's not going to work. You have to do it before you put any wet paint on there. Essentially, you're just fading your color into your sealer. And you got to hold your gun further back when you do this too. You want to give the material a little bit of time in the air to dry before it lands. Not that you want it to land dry, but you want it to land drier than it normally would. Now you let this completely flash off. So we'll be back in like 5 minutes and check this out. Well, see, I told you guys there was going to be learning opportunities. You know that stupid little spray that I did right before I put a coat on here? Yeah, well, it caused it to run. But it also is because when I mix base, like when I use leftover paint, it tends to be a little thicker. So I add reducer to it. And honestly, based on how long this shit's taking to dry, I probably added a little bit too much. So I'll just sit here with the air, blow it off. Then I'm going to grab some of that handy dandy reducer right there. That is my reducer for my base coat. T494 in Envir base. I had like a couple drops of that left, so I said, screw it, let me throw it in the booth. This way, if this happens, I have it, and I can just grab it and take care of this. 1, 2, 3. All right, so I got my microfiber here with my reducer on it. You don't want to do this with like a towel. You definitely want to use a microfiber for it, because otherwise you're going to get a bunch of little pieces of like cloth in here that's going to be a pain in the ass to get out. And that's it. I'll blow that off so it's dry, and then I'll grab my Kovacs. This should be all right. It's a little dirty, so let me grab, I'll just use my gun. Screw it. Obviously you want to make sure it's dry before you start sanding it. Let me grab the tripod. I'll throw you guys on that. I was thinking about doing like live streams too, but I don't know. I think a second channel where I kind of just go about my day at work, let you guys see what I'm doing, what I'm dealing with, would be pretty cool. And it wouldn't take, you know, much effort or planning for me. So, you know, at least 2, maybe 3 times a week on top of at least 1 educational video a week. Because that's what I try to do. I try to put out at least 1 piece every week. But like I said, I'm not going to put a video on the Spraywork channel just to put a video. This one is just to get a feel for it, to see if it's worth creating that second channel. Well, I'm going to clean this up a little bit. Where's my tack rag? tack it off. Then what you want to do is throw a little mist on it. You don't want to go full wet because the sealer and the base coat is going to absorb your base coat differently. So you kind of want to give them the same foundation before you put a wet coat on there. So I'll do it again. It's kind of like the same thing we're doing with our sealer. While this dries, we'll go back to that. This is completely dry and flashed off now. Now you can throw your coverage coat on how you normally would. Deal with this blow through. So I'm just gonna pretty much hold my gun sideways and try to get this whole edge covered because the entire thing is blown through. And then of course we got the handle as well. Main thing is just get it covered first. All right, ready? Now we'll throw a wet coat on here and you'll see that there's no sign of our edge. You might still see a difference because the color's different under the paint, but there shouldn't be a line there. It may take one more coat to completely get that to go away. All right, so this is after our first wet coat. Look at that. You just about don't see anything. And if you do see a little something, it's because we don't have complete coverage yet. So we'll do one more wet coat and we're blending it out. And I'll blend it diagonally across the bottom like that. Then we'll let that flash off. I guess in the meantime, I'll take care of this blow through. And then for the handle here, what I'm gonna do is just go like that. Rather than come from the back of the door, I pretty much just tried to keep the color in the handle. Like that. I mean, that's the best I could do. Maybe I'll give it one of those and that's it. And then the rest of this stuff, we just need one more coat. You could see there that there's no edge where that run was, but we don't have full coverage over that yet. So we'll get it with this coat. And then we're gonna end up having to do one drop coat. And I think I might have to mix a little bit more paint. All right, so I just finished mixing up a little more. Now I gotta put my reducer in. It's calling for 50 grams of reducer. I'm gonna put probably about 60 grams. And then on top of that, what I'm gonna do is add some of my T490, which is my clear additive, which would be base coat additive in solvent. And I'll just add about, I don't know, 10 grams of that, 11 grams, whatever. Just gonna make our color a little weaker, but it's also gonna give it a little body in case there are any scratches or anything like that. It'll fill it in, and a little extra reducer, make it a little weaker and a little easier to blend out. All right, so that coat's just about flashed off, and you can see clearly that we're not gonna have any problem with an edge. We still gotta do our drop coat. So if there is anything still there, I guarantee this will kill it. And we didn't have to do anything extra. That's it, we'll let that flash off, mix up our clear, and lay it on. All right, here's how everything came out. You can see here, we have no line from our sealer. The blend looks beautiful. And on our fender over here, where we took care of the run, there is absolutely no sign of it anywhere, and everything came out great. Oh, you guys want to see something? Yeah, obviously didn't see that, you know? Sucks, but it is what it is. Guess that's gonna have to get a little color thrown on it and re-cleared. That's what I mean when I say bad prep makes me look bad.